It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right, we've done all the work for you. All you have to do is press play and listen. And this is not a Paramore episode. This is a tribute. The Paramore episode actually happened 7 freaking years ago when I brought the show back after RFR folded. And the audio, a brief synopsis of what happened. The audio quality was bad when I went to edit it, and James's microphone was cutting out, and I noticed, and I did what I could at the time, and I was like, nobody's going to listen to this podcast. Nobody's going to care. It'll be gone within a year. 7 years later, and I think about Paramore, and they just deserve so much more. They deserve more than what I gave them at the time. And so we're here to... The episode already happened. We can't do it again. We're just going to kind of talk about what happened that day 7 years ago. So with me, as was last time, my wife, Kristin. Kristin, talk to me about Paramore, and you can kind of, if you want to tell me like why you wanted to talk about them the first time, and kind of add why you said yes to like re-recording.
Okay. I can't remember what happened yesterday, so I'll try to remember why I felt the way I did 7 years ago. I feel like Paramore was always started in like the teenage angsty life. I think I was actually more like late teen. I probably had met you by the time Paramore.
Yeah, your sister was like really into Paramore.
My sister was super. My sister is 3 years younger than me, so she was super into Paramore. Like Crush came out like I might have been a senior in high school, but my sister was super into it. Mm-hmm. But no, I just I had always liked them, and I wanted to do a deep dive, and it made me fall in love with the band. So I a lot of times with now, like in retrospect with Deprogrammed, I'm always like, I'm really into this artist, or I hear like a song and I'll hear it, so I'll go listen to like one or two and I'll be like, man, I really like this. I want to do a Deprogrammed, because it forces me to listen to a complete discography of a band and really think about like what songs are like worthy of being on a top 10 list, or what songs I would tell somebody, hey, listen to if you just want to introduce somebody to an artist. It makes me think about it. Doing this show with you does that for me. So like in retrospect, that's what I wanted and what I got out of doing the Paramore episode. So like doing this deep dive with Paramore, doing a Deprogrammed, I've totally fallen in love with the band and totally fallen in love with Hayley Williams.
Oh yeah. More on that in a second, because I came home and this one was watching all sorts of Paramore and Hayley videos on YouTube. So
I had to get myself pumped for for tonight.
So the other person joining us on the panel was James Clark. So James Clark has returned 7 years later to rehash our Paramore episode. Talk to me about where you were with Paramore 7 years ago, what the episode did for you, and maybe where you are with them now.
It's good oh wait, no, microphone issues again. Sorry. No, it was a great eye opener for how much I actually enjoyed the band and how much I really needed to introduce more of their music into my daily or into my existence. And it was kind of fun because I remember when you first threw it out there, you had the list of all the bands of like, hey, whoever wants to jump on one, throw your name on the spreadsheet. Now I'm looking down the list, and I'd seen nobody piped up for Paramore, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? What? How is this empty? Especially with all the people that we had at the time in for the station. I was like, nobody's gonna. Mine. I jumped on it immediately, and it's so much fun. And listening back to the episode, I remember talking a bunch about the teenage angst and the teenage feel to it. But now that I'm older, as you said, 7 freaking years, and as I put it
Right.
much more vociferously earlier, it still holds true, but in such a strong and strange way, considering the way the past 7 years has unfolded.
Yeah.
And it holds a nostalgic piece of my life, and it still rings true in a lot of ways. So listening back to some of those songs is like, oh no.
Yeah.
oh, this is how we got here, and this is where we're gonna stay.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Now, I mentioned this on the initial episode, but I feel it bears repeating, because at the time, I had been ignoring Paramore and purposefully going out of my way to not be into this band. And I owe them a huge apology, because I was so wrong. And that was then.
Yeah.
And I feel even more wrong 7 years later. Like, as I've really, I say this, I don't really have a list past maybe my top 5 bands, but Paramore could squeak into a top 5, but they're 1,000% in a top 10 if I were to list it out. They went from a band that I completely ignored for the better part of their existence to one of my favorites. And it's purely on the strength of the songs. Like, they are just a really great band. Of course, Haley is an unbelievable singer and one of the great rock voices of all time, period. If she, I could understand somebody not going number 1, Haley, but she better be in that conversation somewhere. Like, if you're having a conversation about great rock singers and her name doesn't come up, you're wrong. Period. End of sentence. Because she's just fantastic. And, really that is the core. Like, when I go back and listen to my 20, we'll go over our list process here in a second. But like, when I go back and I listen to that, like, songs like Hallelujah, and even now, like, when I came home, you were watching, Hunt, a video of All I Wanted.
Yeah.
And I showed you, like,
Goosebumps.
The hairs were sticking up on,
Yeah.
Because that's what that song does to me.
And she hadn't even started singing yet. It was just the opening
It's
riff.
just because you know what's coming.
Right. It's just that guitar,
And I mean, again, that's a song where it's like the music is good, but that song is about Haley and her performance and her just wailing at the end and just going for it. But like, that's what this band is. Like, it's so much energy. And again, I've fallen even more in love with them. They came out with This Is Why, and we'll briefly talk about This Is Why, because there's other ways to like really bring This Is Why into the conversation, like a bigger conversation at a later point.
Sure.
Not on this episode, because that wasn't out yet. But for me, I like This Is Why more than Self-Titled and After Laughter together. Like, I fucking love This Is Why. So that we've briefly had those conversations on about your position on This Is Why. Like, has it softened or changed any? Or have you not given the
I've
time
not
yet?
really given enough. I haven't really given it much time or re-listen. I should. I haven't. I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely appreciate more songs from After. No, I appreciated After Laughter plenty originally.
Yeah.
I feel like we were on the same page with After Laughter. He was the one kind of being.
I had a bunch
No,
from
we
After
had.
Laughter.
We were very much all 3 of us on the same page
Yeah.
in general.
That whole night, yeah.
Yeah. So, that being said, like, the list process in us choosing songs was like easy peasy. Like, I mean, not that they have a certain like amount of songs that are just that good. Maybe we were just happen to be on the same page, but I don't know. They have representative songs that are sort of representative of them, and that are very easy to pick out and say, well, this highlights this or this highlights this. And like you were saying earlier, I went down the YouTube rabbit hole. I never realized they went through 7 different drummers only like their original drummer, he was 13. 13 when they started their band.
Yep.
I mean, they all were like 13, 14 years old when they started. But like, I was like, holy shit, I did not realize that. Yeah. Like, that's fucking crazy. And then he was with them, and they only went through like a couple years of him just being like kind of burnt out. And I mean, when you're that fucking young,
yeah,
and you become famous and you're touring and you're recording, and it's like, yeah, I would need a break too.
Mm-hmm. Especially that scene at that time.
Yeah.
They probably were on the road all the time.
Jeez, yeah.
So
you gotta be.
Yeah, you had to be at that time. Like, I mean, you kind of still do, but it's different now. So briefly, James, where do you land on This Is Why, and what do you remember about putting your list together last time?
I think with This Is Why, the emotions are so different than Self-Titled and some of the other albums, because the other albums were very raw, very, I don't say basic in a bad way, but the lyricism wasn't, we talked about this on the previous episode. The lyricism is not that deep. And honestly, when you have the riffs, you have the voice, and you have the feel of the band like Paramore does, they don't need to be.
Yeah.
And surface level emotions are okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of the music that they did then, it was okay. And This Is Why really felt like a deeper dive beneath the surface emotions. And some of it hit, some of it didn't. But that's because, for me, the way I saw it, we've all gone different ways and experienced life differently than back then. Because back then, we were all having the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
We were all having... The things that they talked about in the music were happening to all of us on some symbiotic level. But now, as everybody's diverged and diasporaed into their own lives and careers and families and just existence, everybody's going to feel emotions at some way, some point, but they're not going to feel them necessarily the same way or through the same experiences. So I think that's why, like, for some people, they were like, what are they doing? Mm-hmm. And then for other people, they're like, oh my God, this is the epitome of like everything they've ever done. And, you know, there was that back and forth. So I liked it. Okay. I need to go back and re-listen again. As far as like song selection goes, it was all right. Well, what do I like?
Mm-hmm.
I think you always start with, well, what I like. And then and it kind of evolves into, okay, what have I heard? What have I listened to? What do I need to listen to again? And then thinking about, how do I need to listen to it again? Do I listen to it the same way that I listen to the stuff I like? Because with the stuff that I like, it's going to hit my ear and it's going to make me tap my foot and it's just going to make me smile. Yeah. If it's something that I don't necessarily like, how am I going to listen to it differently so that I can see if it hits me with the same feeling in a different way? And that was kind of like when you get into songs like 26, Franklin. What else? You and I, Justin, we had one other. For Pessimist, I'm pretty optimistic.
Yeah.
So those songs were really looks into, okay, how do I feel or establish myself with the music differently so that I still enjoy it, because it's not just because it's the band that I like, but because it's actually good music.
I actually, before I give my thoughts, something you brought up earlier that I wanted to make sure we get into microphones. You were talking about the choices then, how hard it was. And then you were thinking about trying to, like, if you had to relitigate, like if you had to redo your 20, it would be even harder now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in general, I was just saying, like, I remember it being extremely difficult to narrow it down to 20 songs. And, like, even now, 7 years later, listening to them and re-listening to the albums, I'm like, holy crap, I don't know how I'd be able to only pick 20 songs
to
put on a list. There's so many more songs add. I mean, I might take some of the ones from before off, but only out of like overplaying.
Right.
Like, overplaying those. So it's just kind of, and it just depends on the place you are in your life. Like James was saying, like you might be in a totally different place in your life. Like, of course we are. It's 7 years later now. Yeah. So my list, if we were to do this all over again, my list might be totally different. Especially adding This Is Why, if we were to add This Is Why into it.
There's a couple there, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Paramore's changed, as we all have in the last 7 years. I mean, they went on a hiatus and had some band members come back, and they had their riff that happened, and Haley put out a solo album, and I mean, it's like a lot happened so that they came back together and did This Is Why, and like,
the other interesting thing to note
kind of neat
is that This Is Why is the end of Paramore, this version of Paramore. Like, that they finished their record deal by putting out This Is Why.
Oh.
And so anything going forward is all them. So I'm super geeked. And I mean, just the glimpse I got from This Is Why gets me excited. Like, to me, the musicianship, like the chances they take, like you talked about, there's a couple songs that I would have taken off my 20. Like, I listened to my whole 20 again today, and I was like, Ankle Biters, it went in the bin, when we did our episode. I love Ankle Biters. I think it's a great song. I think it was a bad choice by me.
But see, it's on my list. My Spotify list currently, I think, is the wrong list.
Yeah.
I've been sitting here thinking that was my list from 7 years ago, but Ankle Biters is on my Paramore favorites.
Well, you said that earlier about...
You said it was in the bin. I'm like, what? I didn't have it? It's on my list.
Yeah, well, I mean, the same thing happened for Hallelujah when we brought it up. Now, Hallelujah, I'll stand by. Like, that would have came to... Whether you guys said yes or no, that was coming to the game with me. But, like, songs like This Is Why, off of This Is Why, You First, Big Man, Little Dignity, like, that's scorching Haley. Like, Haley is trying to set the world on fire with those two specifically. The News is also really great. And I could get why somebody might not like C'est Comme Ça. Yeah.
But like Last Hope. Like, I can't believe I did not have Last Hope on my list.
James did, yeah.
Well, I'm like, why didn't I have this song on my list?
Yeah, and there is a handful.
I don't know, like, it would be different.
Yeah, there is like I think I came out with 3 or 4 that I probably would take off of my list. Even there was one, Grudges, that James had, I probably would take off mine. Like, I love... Actually, there was another one. And now
you said Rose-Colored Boy you didn't have, and you'd probably put on.
Yeah, I didn't have it last time. I probably would have it on mine now, because I like it a lot more now.
Yeah.
And I'll say this last thing before we move on to the next part of the conversation. Because I didn't come to this conclusion until probably last year. Brand New Eyes is a practically perfect record. There is literally only one exception to that record that keeps it from being a perfect record. And you guys already know what it is, because I turned it down last time vehemently.
Yeah.
The only exception to that being a perfect record is the only exception.
You crazy.
I'm just saying.
And you crazy.
I actually, funnily enough, on my way over here, I had it going in the car and just, going back through the stuff. And that came on, and I had been listening to the episode at home before I came, and you, for 10 minutes, just railed against it. And then it came on in the car, and I went, nah, he's still wrong.
I have softened on the song. I like the song now, whereas I was very vehemently against it before, but I still think that is the song that keeps that from being perfection.
Because in general, if you're listening to Paramore, you're listening to a Paramore record, you're not getting a sappy love song.
You're up here all the time.
Yeah, you're like, the emotion level is totally different than what that song gives you, which is what is so great about it.
Again,
I mean, because it's an outlier, but as an outlier, it's still a great song.
It just keeps it from being a perfect record. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my Lord.
That's
okay.
all I'm saying.
All right.
9.8
Entitled to your opinion.
So I will say this too before we move on to the next round. We got 8 unanimous through.
We did.
That was insane.
Yeah,
There was not much in the bin. I think I had 4, maybe 5 overall in the bin.
What do you think it is on Deprogrammed, the history of the show? There's only like probably 2-3 episodes that had more in common off the jump before debate started?
Well,
before the conversation started?
At that point, 8 I think was probably the highest. And it probably sat there for a while. But since then, let's see. Elton John did 11.
Wow, okay.
AGR did 13.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Perry Ubu did 9, and there was another one that got up and over 10, but I don't remember what it was. It was relatively recently.
So we're still top 5.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to take a quick pause, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our list. It's already been done. We're not going to be working it out. We're just going to be talking about it. So, we'll be right back. And with that, we have already played the game. We're just going to play it again. So we got 8 unanimous, and I'm going to bring this up here to make sure we're starting with the first one we got was All I Wanted. And I believe I threw that thinking I might have been throwing a curveball because technically speaking, I didn't know that was a fan favorite, but technically speaking, it's the end of Brand New Eyes. And I thought maybe I was being sneaky and I was going to sneak one past you guys that maybe you wouldn't have. But I mean, it truly is. I don't say this with any hyperbole. It is one of the greatest songs ever, period. The emotion of this, there are very few songs that can tug me as fast and easily as All I Wanted by Paramore.
And I remember when we were talking about this song in particular, you were telling Kristin that, hey, this is the one that got me, because you guys were talking about how you had gone to New York and gotten the album, and New York or DC, one of the two. But you'd gotten the album and listening on the way back, you were just like, whoa! And I remember laughing about that because I was like, yeah, we knew that already.
Yeah.
I think that particular song, you happen to be taking a walk and listening to it in the cans, and like you listen to it and you were like, whoa. Yeah. What is this? What just happened in my ears?
Again, like, because it starts, it's timid Haley at first. Think of me when you're out there, and it's like, okay. And you're just kind of nodding your head like this. You guys can't see it because this is audio. But you're just kind of back and forth. Yeah.
Gentle strum of the guitar in the background.
Yeah. And then all I wanted is you. And it's just kind of soft and pretty. And then
explosion.
All I wanted is you. What? Head blown.
But like, to your point, your opinion is it's all about Haley. But I'm sorry, the explosion of the musicality of it, like. It all just like dances together in this perfect.
I think that's fair enough.
I don't know. Like, yes, it is about her, but for a song to be perfection like that, it's every piece of it is great. And the band, the intro with the soft and the explosions in it, and she's exploding, like it's all coming together with perfection. Yeah.
So that one was through unanimously. There was like no resistance. I'm going to play like a couple seconds of it up. Oh, perfect. There it is again. Hair's sticking up. It's just great. It's just absolutely stunning. The next one that came up was actually you, hon. I think right after I played All I Wanted, you played Still Into You. So do you want to tell me about Still Into You?
Oh, do I want to?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Like, you know what's funny is Still Into You. I'm still into you.
7 years later.
Yep.
Oh. I don't know. It's, again, like I said in our original recording, I'm a sappy love song kind of gal, and you know what? To me, this is that in a rock version, and it's a great way to sing a love song. Like, I love the story she's telling, you know, recount the night that I first met your mother, and you know, and I don't know the line that, and we drove back to your house and sang along to the start of Forever. I don't know, I feel like that's our story. Like, this is a thing that we did. So it's just a good story about a relationship, and you can't anybody can relate to that.
It's almost like it's the better version of The Only Exception.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
I'll accept.
I also remember
statement.
you saying on the
I
episode,
had to choose between the two.
Yeah.
Still Into You is.
and you thought I wasn't going to have it, but like I'd come around on it. Another thing you said you wanted to mention is we were sort of cheater pants because we listened to the entire Paramore discography on that trip to New York you were talking about
Together,
earlier, James. Yeah,
yeah.
we listened to it at the same time, not for this per se, just because I was like, I'd really like to finally listen to Paramore, and eventually we're going to do a deprogrammed on it. I might as well start listening to it. And so we listened to it, and, you know, again, I came around on Still Into You. So
Because you're not a sappy love song kind of guy?
I guess. I don't know.
It's not even a sappy love song. I mean, you know, in the way of rock music, it is.
Now, I know the next one ended up being a 2, but we ended up putting it in the conversation, or we ended up getting it into the 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get was your pick, James.
Yep.
And I mean, when you see some of the ones that don't make it, I can see why I didn't have it on my list. And we'll, you know, maybe talk about like a Brick by Boring Brick didn't come in, which you specifically said you hated then.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've come around on that, but like, because when I look at the list, I'm like, Brick by Boring Brick didn't make it. And then I'm listening. I was like, oh yeah, James hated it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, thank you.
you want to tell me about That's What You Get?
That's kind of just one of those, you don't stop smiling through it. It's so boppy. But at the same time, you know, I remember as I was listening back to the episode, you know, it was talking about how like this is like the one where like all the parties all the different couples are like breaking up and getting together during the party, and it's that twisted, simple lyricism that they play on really, really well, where the music is upbeat and boppy and fun, but then the actual lyrics themselves are a little bit
Yeah.
you know, it's pumped up Kicks vibes. Just, you know, not nearly as heavy of the subject matter.
Yeah, totally.
But you know, it's just fun. And that's what a lot of this band is fun.
Yeah.
So keeping with that theme.
You know, since you led me there, I don't think this was technically next, but I mean, ain't it fun? I think it took me a couple more rounds before I put that one out. Mm-hmm. But I told you guys this, like that's the song that changed my mind on Paramore, like well before this. Like they went from just some band I wasn't going to care about to, what's this? This is Paramore? Mm-hmm. What? Okay. I like this. And suddenly like, you know, the wall is down and you can kind of reach me about Paramore after that song. Now, you know, it took probably another 2 years before we did the episode and I do the dive and whatnot, but like we said this at the time, like this is the epitome of what you were just talking about. Like
it's the boppy fun song with, when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, fuck, that sounds like my life and I'm going to shit.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about it. Like I love the balance of the lyrics, because at the time, like you can take it as she's speaking to like one particular person, like maybe an ex-bandmate. I always assumed it was about an ex-bandmate. Mm-hmm. But like, she's really kind of talking to everybody. Yeah. Like it's really like,
it's an everyman song.
Yeah. This is open to everybody. This is an open letter. Hey, by the way, we're all doing this. Ain't it fun? Like it's hard out here. Like, but like it has this boom, like this just bop to it, like the bouncy funness to the riff.
I always get this song and the artist mixed up. Who's it's a female singer, and it's all about like the song's about like the ironies of I'm gonna totally
I don't know,
spaz
Alanis
on it.
Morissette.
Yeah, I think it's.
And
I always
isn't it
get
ironic?
When you said
Yes,
irony,
yes.
okay.
So and how everybody rips into that song, how it's like, none of those are actually ironic. They're blah 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 blah. But it's the same tone, or it's the same kind of emphasis on the similarities of how we all deal with stuff in life that sucks, and it's a shared experience, but it's presented in such a much more digestible way, and it's so much more enjoyable as a listener that it's one of those, you listen to Alanis Morissette and you're like, all right, guess it's time to go do some hard drugs or drink myself to death, and this is just like, ooh, time to go outside and go for a walk.
Yeah. And then, I mean, again, what can be said about that?
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just fun. I don't mind. Like, there's like a little sass to her. Like, yeah, I love it. Ain't It Fun is great. I'll let you take the lead on this one, hon. Fake Happy.
Oh,
I think I presented Fake Happy, but
I mean, oh gosh, as great as the song is, I don't know if I would put this on my list again.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't even know.
It's
Sorry
interesting.
to-
It's interesting
Dead
that
air.
well, not really. Like the song is going. It's just really quiet.
Yeah.
Like it is interesting that I went to you on this one, and your thoughts are like, I don't know. That interests me. I could see that. I can understand why. I mean, again, with more time, like there's probably other songs that would probably like. Again, I keep bringing up Brick by Boring Brick, but like that one feels like a glaring omission. But like I'm trying to see what else we have on here. Crush didn't make our list. Hard Times didn't make our list. Like at the time,
I would put Hard Times in place of Fake Happy.
I was pretty hard up against Hard Times, I think, at the time. But like, I mean, I don't know, man. I still feel the same way as far as I love Fake Happy. I still love the sentiment of if I smile through my teeth, think they'll believe me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. The song's great. Like, I don't know. The attitude of it is, again, something that everybody can relate to at some point in their life, that you have put on a face.
Yeah.
You have gone out and like put on a show, put on a face. I mean, Taylor Swift sings about this. Nobody knew that I was dying inside, but I'm performing.
I can do it with a broken heart.
I can do it with a broken heart. Yeah, you know exactly what I was talking about. But yeah, so everybody can kind of relate to this. Like maybe if I draw my lipstick wider than my mouth, they won't notice my frown.
Yeah.
And the song is really good. Again, like the music is great in this song, and I love how they do the cold intro. I don't know what you call that little like sepia version of it where she's like, I like making you believe what you get is what you see.
Yeah.
It's all so fake happy, and then leading in with the
and we also
keyboards.
Can't leave out the ba 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 ba.
Right.
Which is pretty it's very Paramore.
all around it's a really good song, and it's a relatable song as a human being. So
I can't remember if this one was you, James, but is the next one online? Misery Business. You want to lead us on that?
I think that was one that we just like had to get in.
You got to.
Yeah.
Because it's not the one, but it is 1A, and everyone and their mother by this point, 7 years later, has seen the music video at least once, knows the music video at least once, understands the music video at least once, And then those of us who like care, like if I'm going to listen to Paramore, this song has to go through my ears during the session.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not feasible that I don't hear this. And again, I still can't believe they say cock on the radio. It's great.
Well, and this one got taken out of their set list for a long time because Once a Whore, You're Nothing More, like she caught flack for that. And so they removed it from the set list. And it's recently made its way back in. And more specifically on the Eras tour, Taylor Swift told Haley, you guys are playing that. and there's video of Haley going, by the way, Queen Taylor insisted that we play this song, and they bust into Misery Business. But, like, this is one of those ones that, like, I remember hating when it came out. Like, I was just being... Really, the root of it is misogyny, and, you know, we're not going to relitigate that. Again, I talked about it on the first one, but, like, really it's rooted in misogyny, why I didn't like it. When you really listen to it, like, it's just a great tune. Like, if you like punk rock at all, there's no reason you shouldn't like Misery Business.
Right.
And it really probably is... It really... At least for that time, one of the best punk rock songs at that time for sure, I would say.
Riot is that, like, Misery Business kind of like defines the record. You know, Riot is just a great punk rock album. It's very like basic. I mean, I don't want to say very basic, but you're not getting in too deep. You're talking about some like pretty simple, like, you know, concepts. And
She
Misery
probably wasn't even
Business
20 by then. Like,
right. I mean,
you know?
so it is for, like, it is what it is. Like, you don't have to look too much into it. Like, it's a great punk rock album, and Misery Business is a great punk rock song. And it's sort of like when people think of Paramore, they think of this song. I mean, if you don't know any other songs by Paramore, you know this.
You probably know this one,
right?
And you know, like in some conversations that will give it weight out of the conversation. But, like, in some bands, like, you know, I still would probably have Misery Business on my list. I don't think you can, again, like James said, I don't think it's the one. I don't think it has to be the one you'd put out, but I do think you have to have it on the list.
Additionally, if we actually look at the list, the 10 that we have, this is our punch in the face song.
Yeah.
Because it was either this or Crush, Crush, Crush that was going to be... That's why we didn't put Crush, Crush, Crush in, because it was too... we're not punching you in the face twice in this list. We want a range. And I think, what did we put in instead of Crush, Crush, Crush? We put in... Fake Happy?
Maybe.
You know, we wanted a range for the actual list, but there had to be one that just socked you in the nose. And what socks you in the nose more for a punk rock band from the early 2000s than Misery Business? Now, there's maybe 5 songs that hit you harder in the face from any band, and then you just throw that voice into it on top, and you're just like, done deal.
You got this.
Well, and the funny thing about you're talking about the punch in the face, one might think like that intro, because it's kind of like it's got like a record type effect over it, but like think about like the boom, and then they all punch right in together. Boom, like like they set the tempo right from the jump and go, yeah, here we go, let's go. So yeah, definitely. I think I'll take point here on Playing God. Was our 7th unanimous, and this is one I think I love even more now. Like, I think I just like the concept of, I'm going to point, if you're going to, start pointing your finger, I'm going to take your finger and point it back at you, bro. Like, just that concept. But like, yes, that concept is part of why I like it, but like, I actually like the totality of the song more now, 7 years later. Like, I just think everything, kind of to your point before, hon, like it all comes together really great. So, Playing God. I'll give a little bit of it here.
Just keep on cramming ideas down my throat. You don't have to believe me, but when I see it,
there's a step progression for Paramore. It's the songs that they use that they step either up or down with the whoa-ohs, and then there's a couple songs that they just let her slide, and the choices that they make musically are really intelligent,
Complimentary.
and it's that I think adds a layer for those of us who are musically inclined. It adds that extra layer for us of like, okay, they made a choice, a specific intentional choice when they did it this way. And I think for all of us, that hits our ears a little differently, and it makes us go, it makes that little part of our brain go, ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
All right, hon.
Tasty.
I'm gonna let you take lead on this because you two had this, and I let you convince me. Decode.
Oh. Oh gosh. Like listening back now, Decode's still a great song. I don't know what it's like. I have an issue with the fact that this was like the Twilight song. Because I literally, people are gonna, Paramore fans are gonna like hate me for this, but I've literally never read a single Twilight book or seen a single Twilight movie. So to me, the fact that this song is sort of associated with that is a little bit annoying to me, and like the music video is just like Twilight, so it's a little bit difficult for me. But I don't know, it's just a really good song. Like her vocals are great in it, the guitar, like I don't know, something can be said about just like you're saying, like it's the guitar, it's the stop in the right moments, it's the explosive drums, it's all of it coming together, and this song is kind of very musically yummy to my ears.
Yeah.
And that's part of it, and her voice is great in this song. So
Thoughts on Decode, James?
Twilight. So as somebody who did watch the movies and loved the books, and it's just it does scratch that little itch, because anytime you go through social media now and you see there's like the fog misted like pine wood forests and mountains where you get the caption, oh, it's hoa 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 season. Because for those who are uninitiated at this point, they've got that soundtrack that plays over for all the Twilight movies. That was the deep Oregon woods, or the Washington woods, because Washington,
Pacific Northwest.
But it's just it's that same feeling for me of having watched the movie, seen the music video that was done in the style of the movie. And knowing, because we were trying to figure out, I remember last time, we were trying to figure out what this was on the back of. And I think we eventually landed on, like, it was on the back of Riot, but unofficially and all that. Like, so just to have this on, because this is also another 1A.
It's like an extra song.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a bonus.
So this is another song that, like, everybody knows. And this I feel this really is the right hook to the jab of Misery Business. I really feel like this is all right. Misery Business lead, and then swing around with this, and then you can get into what the rest of the band is about with the rest of our list.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what it was exactly. Like it's one of those songs that everybody knows. When that guitar note hits and when they're playing live or whatever, everybody knows
this is coming.
This song and what the song is, and it's very sing-along. And that can be said about most of the songs that I personally choose, is because I'm a pop music connoisseur, if you will, and I like songs I can sing along to. I like songs with a story. I like songs I can remember and understand the lyrics, and just very pop music, like catchy stuff. And it's just, I don't know if you would call it like a catchy song. It's memorable.
Yeah. How do we get here?
Yeah. See, even you who didn't have it on your list.
What's funny though? Well, no, and I didn't at the time. I didn't because I only listened to the records. I don't know if you guys remember that part.
Okay.
But like even at the time, I probably the Twilight thing would have dragged it down at the time. But now when I listen to Decode, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like that's supposed to be here. Like this, it's kind of to your point. Like it really rounds out the list. Nice.
It's just very eerie, and just the feel of it. It just has a vibe to it, you know.
Yeah. And then that brings us to our 10th song here, James. You've got to take lead on it now, which, looking back on it, I'm kind of surprised that Now was a unanimous decision. Like when I think about all the songs that got brought to the dance, Now was our 8th unanimous.
Well, let's look at the events of 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, just outside of the pod, outside of our four walls, everything that was going on. I remember, you know, we were just dealing with the end of RFR.
Mm-hmm.
I had just found a new job. You guys had, you know, the kids were young at the time for you guys. And then obviously everything that was going on in our world.
Mm-hmm. Do the math.
It.
If there's a future, we want it now.
Yeah.
You know, it was the angry angst that we all felt pent up inside of us. Of we all saw the writing on the wall of the world as we know it or knew it, and we were told it was going to be for us forever shifting into a way that would no longer serve us, and we were going to have to struggle in a lot of ways. We saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that was the punch of the song of, hey, it's either now or never. And, you know, we feel it now.
Yeah. Do you want to say something? Let me give a little taste of Now. I mean, it really is just a taste.
It really, like, the first couple times I heard the song, it came through differently. I was like, this is grungy.
Yeah.
It's dirty. Where's this? Where's my bubble gum?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's put mud in my bubble gum.
But that's what I love about this band is I got something for every mood, every taste, every flavor.
They really
I need.
do, yeah.
I've got something for every part of me.
I feel like we pretty much covered it all with this list too.
Did we talk about 26?
Oh no, I'm sorry, we didn't. So, do you want to take
this
point
one
on that?
was a big. This one was a big one. I feel like for, and from what I gather when Haley talks about it, it was a big one for her because it's very lyrical. It's very much about her. I mean, you could tell.
Yeah.
It's very a personal song, but it takes you down. It's an outlier song.
Mm-hmm.
There's not any other songs like it, and it hits you in the feels.
What's the line again? Like, what? Hold on to hope if you got it. I mean,
Yeah.
again, talk about, strangely enough, 7 years later, pretty appropriate.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember, you know, when we were talking about this, of saying, you know, this is how I felt when 26 happened to me. It sucked.
Yeah.
And looking back at it, I'm going, shit. If that wasn't just the bookend of and of everything that's happened in the past 7 years for everybody, but you know, going through all the things that we've dealt with personally, and then as
A globe.
right?
Yeah.
It just, this song really encompasses a lot of the dichotomy of all of that.
Yeah. What's funny is I mean, it went through unanimously, and I think I really enjoyed the song, and I loved that sentiment. And honestly, like, this one probably would have been up for debate, like, for me to remove. But when I listened to it today, I was like, no.
It stays.
Yeah, it stays. Like, it does so much for our list. Like, it separates itself. It has a really good message that should be out there anyway, just period, just end of story, no matter what you think. Like, holding on to hope, the idea of holding on to hope if you've got it anyway, that's just a good thing.
Right.
if you are hopeful, do not lose that. No matter where you are in life, if you're hopeful, keep going. So, yeah, I don't know. We've talked about After Laughter, and you know how I don't want to say I dislike it. I like it more now than I did then.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of those After Laughter songs at that point, I probably would have kind of.
It's sort of a shock album when you're listening to it in context of Deprogrammed, and you're listening to the albums all in a row.
Oh yeah.
It's so different if you're listening to it like that. Like I'm listening to all of Paramore from, you know, oldest album to newest album. It's sort of, there's like a shock factor in there because it's so different. So it's like it leaves you with like a confused if you're not like a fan or you're not like listening to it when it comes out, and then you listen to self-titled, you know, a couple years later, you know, or whatever, what have you. So like I totally get that like when you're listening to it in this context.
It is funny that the way because self-titled is definitely different from Brand New Eyes. But, like, it folds into the rest of the discography easier than After Laughter did at the time. Time has done really well to After Laughter, if you ask me. But, you know, I don't know if it's just time and just listening to it enough to where I can just fold it into the rest of the discography and not even think about it anymore. Or if I really just do have a better appreciation for it now, again, 7 years later. But, yeah, I don't know. Because again... not to keep bringing this up, but I quickly gravitated towards This Is Why. And I think it is because of all these things. It is because After Laughter does have that difference.
Yes.
That I had to wrestle with that made me ready for This Is Why.
Yeah, After Laughter it's almost like they took all of the to throw this into the millennial context, which I talked about a lot last time we did this episode. They take all of the feels in After Laughter. Like everything else really feels just like, okay, this is your music. Let it do to your body and your psyche what it will. With After Laughter, it's more of, okay, this is your mind. Absorb this. Bring this in. How does this make you feel? And then all of a sudden you're going, I don't want Paramore to make me feel things.
All right, so this won't go anywhere, but like we might as well do this because I don't think this existed when we did the episode initially. The number one, I don't think we did that.
No, there was no such number one.
Yeah, so I think we should do that before we wrap up here. Because we gotta hurt ourselves.
Oh, buddy.
So I'm gonna run down this list, and then I'm gonna ask you each. So we've got Fake Happy, 26, Now, Ain't It Fun, Still Into You, Playing God, All I Wanted, That's What You Get, Misery Business, and Decode. Hun, of those 10, which one do you think is the one?
I feel like it's pretty obvious, but All I Wanted would be the number one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think, James? It isn't easy.
I was going to say, does this have to be unanimous?
I mean, technically speaking, no, because we normally do it so the band will have a song for the conversation for the best of the year. This won't be going into that. So this number one is, which one would be the one that you would play for somebody out of these 10?
Okay, so that's helpful.
Yeah.
The way you just phrased that. What would I play for somebody if I said, have you ever listened to Paramore? And they looked at me like I'd grown 3 heads, and that I looked back at them like they lived on Mercury for their entire existence.
Right.
I would play Ain't It Fun.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because I would say, okay, do you want some? This has everything. It has it's a bop.
Mm-hmm.
It has the boppy. It has the awkward backwards lyrics, and it has the ability to be a song that it is what you make it.
Yeah.
And it is what you want it to be. What's in the box? Whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So I would play Ain't It Fun for somebody who's never listened to Paramore. I would say that's one.
it's funny that the two songs that you guys brought up are obviously the ones that are in the race for me, because Ain't It Fun is the one that turned me around on the band. All I Wanted is the one that made me a fan of the band.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to decide between those two. I will say this, that we do a music league in the Deprogrammed Discord, and recently Jenny's week 1 was Deprogrammed Discoveries, and people put in songs that they discovered by listening to the program. My selection was All I Wanted, because I've done all of the episodes, so I can choose whatever I want. But like, I went with Paramore's All I Wanted, and my only note was, this is where I knew I was wrong, because that is absolutely where I knew I was wrong about this band, and I should pay attention. And it won the week.
Wow.
So, I mean, I think technically speaking, you're right. Because I think Ain't It Fun is catchier, and I think people don't expect that from Paramore, which is what made me pay attention.
Well, it caught you, didn't it?
Yeah. But the thing that made me lock in and
Right.
go, no, man,
Let's get it.
This band is for me, is All I Wanted.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with All I Wanted, just because, again, like, there's like 3, strangely enough, Halsey's Loneliest Muse makes me cry now. So like every time I listen to it. Free Throws, I'm giving you guys reasons to go out and cry if you'd like. Free
Oh,
Throws.
okay, cool.
Because we need
that.
more of
I need
those
that
in
in my
today's
life.
world. In 2024? Thanks.
Tips for Safe Travel is the name of the Free Throw song that makes me cry every time I listen to it. So those two songs make me cry. Every time I hear All I Wanted, I always get goosebumps without fail. No matter where I am, no matter what version I hear, it gives me goosebumps. My hairs stick up on end. So something has to be said about me as a 44-year-old man who came to the band really late in life.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to make me emote in that way. That far removed from when it came out. So
Yeah.
I think that says something. So, all right. Well, if you're listening to this, we're a podcast. You can subscribe, rate, comment. All that stuff is cool. Patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin would be a great place to go. If you've got $1 a month, it gets you a link to our Discord, an automatic invite, and gets you, with that $1, extra channels that you can come play around in. That's fun. But otherwise, you can just come play in the Discord. It's cool. The Legion of Stupid Discord. Come hang out in there. You can sign up to be on an episode yourself if you'd like. You can ask me in Discord for the link. The link is in Discord as well. Or follow me on Threads at DeprogramVA. Ask me for the link. Come join. Come jump on the show. Podcast, subscribe, rate, comment. We said that, but sharing is caring. Tell somebody that you listen to the show. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed. You should too. And with that, Paramore. Learn and love, people. We'll see you next week. We did almost an hour, and we were only supposed to do half. See you next week. Goodbye.